Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, which means it's time to speak to Grow Mastermind. I am your Queen Cat Herder, Kathy Riley, and I'm excited to have you all here. I am all about helping you identify the words that matter, right? When you communicate, whether you speak one-on-one or one-to-many, the words you say matter. Who agrees with me?
I do.
Yes, who knows exactly what to say, when to say it, every day, all day? Nah, none of us do. This is a gift for us because we're always learning, we're always growing, right? That's why calls like this are so important. I'm constantly learning from other people how to communicate better and love to transition that to you. So I love that you are investing in yourself because time is an investment, to be here today to talk about the words that you are using to describe yourself. Now, we have an exciting thing coming up this week. Achieve Conference is starting. The leaders come in on Thursday, and then Friday is all day networking. And then Saturday, we have an amazing education with some fantastic speakers. And it's just, they are going to pour into you like so much. Is there anybody in the room that's ready to learn and grow? Yeah. Does anybody want to meet somebody that could be their next power partner? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Yes, they're estimating, Robert says 400. I'm going to guess closer to 300 people that are going to be in the room Friday and Saturday. I could be wrong. You never know. But I love that we've got a full house. Friday is our biggest day, and then it's all day networking. In the morning, it's going to be speed networking, kind of like speed dating. Not that I've ever done speed dating, but I'm told it's kind of like that, where you just get to know each other super fast, then you move on to the next person. So then you have lunch break, and then in the afternoon, you have the opportunity to schedule time with the other people in the room. So if you meet somebody, you can say, hey, how about we get together and talk for 20 minutes at 2, 2:30, 3, your afternoon. Use that time to strategically get to know, go deeper with the other people in the room, including your alpha leaders, the keynote speakers, other individuals and leaders that are through Achieve. They are going to have time for you to get to know them, to ask questions, to go, what can I learn from you in these next 20 minutes, right? So use that time wisely. If you haven't already, if there's an Achieve leader that you want to connect with, reach out to them and say, hey, I'd like to spend some time with you. I want to ask you some questions. How do you do what you do? What do you recommend that I do? What's my next best decision to grow my business? So I'm not aggressive or assertive, but be your own boss. Be your own boss. There are people in that room that are doing what you want to do, that know more. I love being the dumbest person in the room. Sit down with other people and say, how are you doing it? What would you recommend me doing? And who should I get to know? So use that time wisely. That's what Friday afternoon is going to be all about. It's going to be so juicy. So knowing that this is coming up this weekend, how do you prepare yourself for the conversations you're going to have? You are going to meet, I'd say, at least 50 people. You're going to walk away with 50 people. Of those, are they all your ideal client? No. Do they know somebody who's your ideal client? Absolutely. Could they know more than one person that's your ideal client? Absolutely. So let's just say in that weekend, you make 50 good connections. Of those 50, each person knows 1 to 2 people that would be your ideal client. What kind of transaction and impact would that have on your business? It would. So remember, it's not about doing sales in the room. It's not about closing Friday, Saturday. It's about building the relationship, creating that attraction, and making that next connection that will lead you to business. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
All right. So how do we set ourselves up for success? And what I believe, and that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about, it's all about communication and asking the right questions. What questions do you have in your toolbox right now that you could ask the attendees at the conference this Friday and Saturday that would draw them in to either doing business with you, gaining one of your lead magnets, getting on your newsletter, or having them introduce you to somebody that they know that needs you? So we're going to brainstorm, we're going to mastermind around those questions. Now, Robert Raymond, he's got 3 questions that he recommends we all ask. And this is a version of it. I've been asking this. So he's got his own verbiage. This is kind of my verbiage. And it's not necessarily in this order. But the first one is, what's going great in your business? What's succeeding in your business? What are you loving about your business right now? That's why people love to talk about celebrations. In fact, I don't think we talk enough about our celebrations. We love to talk about our struggles more than our celebrations. But that's what we want to do, is if we can create that relationship, that connection to say, oh, I'm celebrating you. Fantastic. That's awesome. They're going to remember that, because people remember how we make them feel. So asking, what are they celebrating? What's going great? Another question is, what's a goal you've got going on? What's one big thing that you want to gain in the next quarter in your business? What do you want to see happen? And then the follow-up question, which is super juicy, is what are you struggling with to get you to that goal? So those 3 simple questions, that's what Robert Raymond, he talks about that at university. He puts it out in his newsletters, his emails. I'm sure you guys don't get enough newsletters and emails from him. So it's in there. Trust me, it's in there. It'll be in there again in the next probably 60 days. But so getting your brain wrapped around, those are 3 questions that he uses, that he teaches. He says, do that. What other question can you ask that is going to create that connection and draw that person into you? Because you know what? You've got their solution. You can say things like, I get what you're talking about, right? This is something that I work with my clients all the time. They struggle with this. I feel you. I hear you. There's a couple ideas that I have. Is it okay? Let's schedule some time later to talk about this. Does that sound fair? Does that sound good? So let's mastermind around what questions, and I'm just going to call on you. I'm going to call on you and say, what question can you ask that is going to create an amazing connection and lead to possibilities? So I'm going to, oh, Erin, I get a volunteer. Yes, Miss Erin.
I like going first. I sit at the back of the room, but I like going first. I think for me, one of the questions that's really been beneficial is, how can I help you? Like, this is your goal. We've already covered your goal and you're struggling with X. How can I help you? Because I have a lot of resources, right? Everybody in this room's got a ton of resources, right? Like probably the 7 of us on this call could solve all the world's problems. But how can I right now in this moment, what is your biggest ask right now to get you to the goal that you're struggling to get to?
So I invite you.
Yeah, I love that
go
word.
a little bit deeper on that.
Yeah.
When you ask questions that are very big and generic, they're like, how can I help you? Our brain will go to, okay, I've got like 50 things that I need to do.
Yep.
And now I'm in overwhelm because I have 50 things that have popped into my head and I don't know which one to tell you first.
Mm-hmm. And I'm spinning.
So this is why words matter. Be specific. Okay, your big goal is this. what would you like to be your next step? Or go a little bit deeper with that question. Like, especially Aaron, talk to me real quickly about what you do.
Yeah, so I co-own a company that we bring business solutions and lifestyle hacks to entrepreneurs, and we are coming with a new product to kind of present and push out. So it's in the health and wellness industry, and yeah, so it's pretty exciting.
So
And
asking a
yeah.
question like, if you had a tool that would do XYZ, if you had a system that would help you do ABC, how would that improve? What would that help you to your goal?
Yeah.
So going a
Mhm.
little bit deeper in asking that question. I love the question. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And thank you for allowing me. I didn't ask permission
No,
to
I love role
do a little
playing.
bit,
Come on.
but I just the way the brain works when you say, what do you got going on, or how can I help you?
Mhm.
And I've learned over the couple decades that I've been doing this network, and it's like, I love asking that question, how can I help you? And people go, I don't know.
Mhm.
Over half the time, people go, I don't know. So the more specific we can be, the more we
Yeah.
lead them down that and we create that connection.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for that, Kathy, because a lot of times too, we don't know what to ask for. And we've been ingrained to think that we can't ask for help also. So thank you for that redirect. It's perfect.
Awesome. All right, who wants to go next? All right, Malcolm, talk to me.
So the question I wrote is that I'm going to ask, if you better understood your potential clients' buying behavior, would that make a difference for you?
I like that. What do you guys think?
Mhm. Yeah.
Their buying behavior, what makes them tick, their needs, right? If you could better understand your client, what impact would that have on your business? Juicy. And then I love to follow that up. Of course, they're going to say, yes, that would be awesome. We don't lead into the solution then. Okay. We don't talk about, this is our system, this is our tool. These are the things that I can bring to the table, because that's when you start puking your genius and they're not ready to receive. All right. You've got
I
to
love that.
allow them to give
Can we make t-shirts that say that? Don't puke your genius.
But as
DPG.
entrepreneurs,
Kathy
we
Riley.
love our system. We love it. We love telling you how great it's going to be. You know, I'm a nerd and I can tell you how to communicate and how your brain works and all of this stuff. But nobody cares. Okay. They don't really care. It's when they finally buy into it. So love the question. Just remember, when you guys are asking these questions, to then don't turn around and puke, right? That's when you're like, oh, I've got some great ideas for you. Can we schedule some time to talk?
Okay.
You know, maybe Friday afternoon after the conference, Monday after we're done processing all of this amazing information. I've got some questions for you too, because I want to go deeper on that.
Okay.
Because then you show that you really care. It's not just, you're not doing this. It's not one way. It's two way. Ooh, you know what? What you just said leads me to a lot of questions. I got some ideas. We don't have enough time to cover it. I'd love to schedule some time with you.
Awesome. Thank
And
you.
they're going to say, oh, you have questions. You want to help me? Thank you. Yes, I would love time. I have time to talk. You're not asking me to buy. You're not pitching a product. You're not doing this. You're genuinely showing. And this is, you've got to be authentic too, which we're all authentic people here. I know this, but this is where our words matter. So we have to show the people that don't know us how much we care.
All right.
So thank you for sharing. That was awesome.
Thanks.
All right. Who else? Come on, Mac. Let me hear it from you.
With what I'm doing at this point in my life, I'm finding the need and the desire to give back. I'm concentrating on veterans, law enforcement, and first responders. When I got out of the Marine Corps during Vietnam, there were no resources to help a young business person. So I'm looking for people that have a service or a product that can help these people that I call wearing the jacket succeed and do better for all of us. How can you help me?
I love it, but let's ask that in a question. So start thinking about the words that you can say that will allow the person on the other side to come up with that avatar, that person. So who do you know? This is I'm serving. I've got a big heart right now. I'm serving. So who do you know that is ABC da 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 da? Does that make sense? Because then I would love an introduction so that I can help and support them.
Well, and that is part of the formula, but more so, I want to know what you, Kathy, can offer to the people that I bring to the group.
So that's a different question.
Yep.
So you knowing who you're talking to, you need, this is why having a toolbox, your questions are a toolbox. You get to pull a multitude of them. And the ones we're talking about today, write them down to save later. So you knowing who I am personally, because you know me, the question would be presented to me is, I'm creating a community that supports and does this. Will you help and support this? Are you willing to have a conversation with me to create a collaborative relationship to support this community? Can we have a conversation? I know what you're doing, Kathy. I love you, Kathy. But I see ways that there could be a win-win for this community. And are you willing to have a conversation with me?
Okay.
Because you don't want to go up to somebody and say, hey, Kathy, what can you do for me? Because you've got a person all of us entrepreneurs who are wearing multiple hats, doing multiple things. We're a spouse, right? Chances are we're a spouse. We have a house. We have pets. We have children. We have all this stuff going on. We have taken a plate and created a platter. And what you don't want to ask is, what else can I put on your platter? But you want to phrase it in a way that says, how can we create a win-win relationship for this goal that I have going on? That makes sense?
It does when you put it that way, and I obviously didn't express myself correctly because I'm not looking for a favor from somebody or a gift from somebody. I'm looking to understand what the hell it is that you do that will be valuable to the people that I bring into the group.
So we need to work on your questions. So start formulating a question that you've got one person that's like, you're looking for introductions, right? Does this all make sense to you guys? So you're looking for introductions to people that you can serve, right? To build your community. You're also looking for individuals who are going to serve the community along with you in ways that you don't even know yet. So depending on who you're speaking to, you've got a couple questions that you can pull out and ask that will lead you then to that next conversation, that one-to-one, an introduction to the community, whatever the next steps are. Does that make sense?
It does. And it actually follows the path of what I've been trying to do. I met with Liz yesterday. That's why I knew it was her on the phone today. And I've talked to other people. and I'm trying to have one-to-one Zooms, because on a Zoom like this, where there's a bunch of us, we don't get to know each other enough. And what is it that we do? As Jamie McClung had asked me, Mac, nobody knows what you do. I said, well, I'm not allowed to say that I'm in the CIA. So yeah, but that is my struggle, and I'm trying to accomplish it by meeting with people individually
Yeah.
to find out what they do and what value can I give to them and what value can I receive in return. I believe in a two-way street.
I love it. I love it. So arm yourself with questions. And I think we kind of worked some of those out. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being open. Mr. Lou, what you got?
Yeah, thank you. Kathy, I hope you can hear me. My voice is shot.
Oh,
But
I
that's
guess
the reason I've been a little hesitant in answering. I want to take a moment. My new book on sales comes out this Saturday, June 8th. And I think about what's important. There are two steps as I see it. First is what I call an entry question. You know, Kathy, I've heard a lot of great things about you and your business. Would you take a few moments and share with me how you've gotten to the point where you are? And then you open it up. And then the second question relates to, is there something that I could bring to the table that you think might be advantageous to taking you to the next step? And so I want to get the other person talking about what they do, how they are, and then opens up the line of communication. Then I can start thinking in terms of what I'm all about myself. Okay.
I love that, Lou. Thank you for sharing. But Lou, your second question is similar to Aaron's in that you're like, okay, what can I bring to the table? What do you need? And the answer in their brain is going to be 50 different things. It creates when the brain is overwhelmed, it makes no decisions.
Right.
So what question can you just shift it in a way that will allow them to think of 3 things other than 50 things?
What not I just specify 3 things that I think can make a difference now that I know something about the individual, and I be specific in the sense that, Kathy, these are 3 things that after listening to what you've done, where you are now, that I have found might be beneficial. Then I'll get specific with 1, 2, 3. Did that help?
So yes, and at that point, you're also offering unsolicited advice, coaching, information.
Yeah.
The other person needs to give you permission to do that. Otherwise, your genius will land on deaf ears.
All right.
Everything that we have is absolutely fantastic. You guys, each one of you brings so much to the table. But when you're in that conversation and we don't have a lot of time, you're talking whether it's 6 minutes or 30 minutes, we don't have a lot of time. You want to really create that connection and start building a relationship. And it's not what I can do for you. Granted, you can do a lot. You're amazing. So we ask questions like, I love that. What do you, this is your goal. This is what you've got going on. If you could wave a magic wand, what's one thing that you would change? What's one thing that you would love to have happen? You'd like more clients? You would love to have more clients. You'd like to be too busy for more clients? Great. I'd love that. Who doesn't want more clients? There's so many ways that you can do. I have some amazing ideas right now on how you can get more clients. I really, can we schedule a time to talk? And then you get the permission, right? Once you have the permission, you schedule that time to talk. Then they have given you the opportunity to talk about your genius.
Very well.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Awesome. Miss Cheryl, what you got?
Well, I'm here with Erin, so we're the same company, Good and Crazy. And so I'm sitting here thinking, because I love that, yeah, be a little more specific, I guess. And right now, as we're bringing a new solution to entrepreneurs, I was thinking something along the lines of, as an entrepreneur, would it be valuable if you could tap
It's
into
so
some of the
beautiful.
same benefits and solutions
Beautiful,
as
so
employees
peaceful.
often enjoy? Does that make sense?
I was distracted. Can you say that again?
Okay, yeah, so as an entrepreneur, right, would it be valuable as if you could tap into some of the same solutions and benefits that are generally only, offered to employees?
Hmm. Okay. Okay, anybody else got thoughts on that?
Caught my attention because I talked to a lot of people who don't have benefits. So I'd be thinking about who I could connect you with.
Mhm.
Mac,
Okay.
what are your thoughts on that?
The issue I have, and I've seen it before, is so often people want to talk to the boss or the buyer about benefits that their people should have, but it's going to cost him to give to the employee, so to speak. And I don't know that it's an employee benefit type thing that you're talking about. That's what it sounds like. But
Yeah.
I always put up a wall as soon as somebody says, if you do this for everybody else, you're going to be great.
Yeah, so it's actually not for the employer. It's as an entrepreneur. What if you had access to things that you typically don't? But employees typically do. But because you're an entrepreneur and you're on your own, right? What if there was a way for you to be able to enjoy some of those same advantages? So it's not really to the employer, it's actually to the entrepreneur who might not typically know that there's some real valuable things out there for them that they just think they can't have access to because they're solopreneurs.
So I like what you're bringing to the table. However, my first thought was I don't have employees, so this is not. So I'll need to introduce you to somebody that's got employees or it.
No, it's for you as an entrepreneur. It's for you. What if you? So I think the question is confusing. So I'll scratch it because it has nothing to do with employers. It's just that when you work for someone, you get health benefits, you get all these resources, right? As an employee. What if, as an entrepreneur, on your own, you could have that for yourself, and you don't have to be an employee to entertain have those same benefits. So it's
So
not
my
actually.
question. Okay, but my brain. Sorry for cutting you
No,
off.
you're good. You're good.
So as entrepreneurs, like a good question would be, so you've come from the corporate industry, right? You, as an entrepreneur, you didn't start as an entrepreneur. You've worked in an industry where you get the benefits, right? And you establish that, yes. Wasn't it nice to have somebody else that handled all of that, and then you had all these things that you didn't have to worry about, right? Well, part of what our solution is for the entrepreneurs to have those benefits without the brain fry or the employer. So that's kind of what we bring to the table.
Right. Okay.
And then leading, that's a conversation we can have later. But so being an entrepreneur, now understanding this, okay, you've worked for the man, right? You've worked for the man before, right? All the perks that you get along with that. And you can itemize some of the stuff that you guys are doing. That's what we bring to the table. Those are the solutions, the problems we solve for entrepreneurs. I'm trying to think of a way that you can ask the question to create the dialogue that then says,
right. And doesn't confuse them like
yes.
I did.
So
yeah.
I would play with that just a little bit more. Malcolm, I can tell you get something.
Well, I was just wondering if you'd say, you're tired of thinking you have, I don't know what the product is, I'm just guessing.
Right.
Are you tired of thinking you have to wait months before you can have benefits. What if you can have them for yourself now?
Oh, that's nice.
But that again is almost a solicitation in my mind,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Instead of a question, a
Mhm.
true, and I mean, Cheryl and I work together, we're partners, right?
Yeah.
So,
we
so,
sifted through.
so as we're masterminding here, it still feels like almost like a solicitation.
Solicitation, which I don't
Instead
want.
of a question, a true heartfelt question, how can I help you?
Mhm.
Right? Like, which
Right.
was, right?
You know,
Or,
it's a struggle. So, you know, this struggle to transition. Have you ever struggled, you know, from going from, you know, corporate industry to entrepreneur with a lot of the solutions that provided? Is that a struggle for you?
Mhm. Yeah, there you go.
Is there something that in your business right now you're missing from going from corporate executive to
I like
entrepreneur?
that. There you go.
And asking about that struggle. And then you can go. So I think that's the better worded question, but to play with this. I think you've got to go. I think we're starting to get down that path on the
Right,
question.
right. Yeah, I like it.
mhm.
I love that. Okay, Liz, can you talk?
Well, I don't think so. I
Oh,
apologize.
Liz, thank you, Lou. I was asking Liz. Liz is
Oh, I
up.
apologize. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I
I
can talk. Can you guys hear me okay? I've got these weird AirPods on.
Yeah.
No, we can hear you.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go really out of my comfort zone and really share right now. Because Kathy, you know me and you know I like to talk a lot. And my continual feedback is, hey Liz, did you know that less is more when you speak?
Yes.
And I've been meeting on these Zoom calls with Mac for what, I don't know, 9 months, and had some preconceptions about him. And then we met yesterday and I practiced just listening. And now I love Mac. Like I have like full open heart love for Mac and what he's about and his experience. And I know so much more about him. So I think his point of like really getting to know each other. And because I teach mindfulness and mindfulness is around non-judgment, I would just go to that, like as you're meeting people, like just set your preconception luggage down and just really listen. Like maybe ask one question and then just listen until they have nothing left to say. And then say like, I'd love to talk about that more. You know what I mean?
I do. I love that. Thank you, Liz.
The magic's in the listening.
Yes, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Exactly.
And that's part of the reason. So I know we're over time a little bit. So if you have to go, that's fine. But I'm going to take a quick picture though, because I'm excited to see you guys all here. So everybody smile. Yay. So if you have to go, I understand. I want to keep going with this line of questioning though, because I believe it's important is asking the right questions to then have them share what their struggles with that, and then that information is then how you can serve them. So they're telling you, if you know, say, what's your biggest struggle? What are you celebrating? What did we ask? How, you know, what's some of the things that are going on in your world? You know, I'm looking to give back. How do you give back? What are some of those? And then you just listen. And from that information, you then can continue to ask questions, offer time to say, "Ooh, I have solutions for you." Right? Do you give me permission to have this conversation? And then just really build that relationship. You don't need hours to build a relationship. It can be done in 10 minutes, in 30 minutes. It really can. So asking the questions and then really listening. So thank you for that, Liz. I love that. Now I know Yvette, you joined us late. Welcome. we are talking about a question that you can ask as you're getting to know an individual at the upcoming conference that will gain information and build a relationship. So do you have, I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot right now, is there a question that you can ask that you want to share with the group that we can mastermind around?
No, I don't have one right now. I just barely joined and I'm barely getting the understanding of what you guys are talking about, but that is very interesting.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's it. Asking the right questions will help you lead your prospect to building the relationship, allowing you to provide the solution and showing your value and your genius in a way that is wanted and that relationship created. Does that make sense, everybody?
Mhm.
All right, any questions at this point?
I love this.
This is great.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. All right, Mac, what you got?
More of a comment, and this is because of Yvette's comment being new. Participating, even though it's uncomfortable, and today you didn't hold up a timer on me, but joining in, it really does make all of us more comfortable, and we get to see who we are.
Yeah. Remember though, with that said, and showing up is participating. So thank you all for showing up and being here and giving of your time and talent as you mastermind. And then we okay. So with Cheryl, you had something that you wanted to say.
I did. I just wanted to make sure Franklin saw that personally I sent him a connection in his chat. I just wanted to make sure he
Good.
saw that. That's
Did you
all.
send him Lonnie?
Yep.
Good. Because I had it written down on my pad over here to connect Mac with Lonnie. So,
Lonnie and Elaine. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I sent you a message. I just wanted to make sure you saw that connection. They're beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful.
I put my contact link and my calendar in the chat.
I love it. I love it because they came to mind immediately when you started talking, Mac.
Yep.
And I mean, we said it earlier, right? Like there's so many contacts like happening like already right here, Kathy, just in this small window of time. But we're concentrating on our words. So
Well, and
sorry for derailing you.
it's okay. It's okay. I love it. That's what this is about, right? This, at the end of the day, this is about you guys. And I instigate that the words matter, but connecting, the words lead to connections that lead to business. Because we all want to make money. We're not doing this for free. We got bills to pay. We got mouth to feed.
Amen.
So, but words matter. So I love it. Thank you guys for playing and being full out and getting real and sharing and listening. I look forward to seeing you all on Friday. It's going to be a fantastic day. Be ready. Bring your water bottle. Bring your snacks. It's going to, and be prepared to play full out. Be prepared to play full out. You get what you give.
I love it.
So I'm excited to see you guys. If anyone wants to schedule time with me Friday afternoon, I still have a couple slots open. Here, I'll put my text, my phone number. You guys should all have it. But here it is. If you'll text me, did it go? There we go. Shoot me a text. Let's get on my calendar. Let's have a conversation. I will be there. I'll be there the whole time. I have my table. Come visit, come talk. Get as much out of me as you can. Yes, Malcolm.
Can you explain to me how Friday works? I know I'm there Friday as far as I'm concerned. I'm just there all week, but I don't know when can I saw something on the Facebook, there was a meetup and you're saying you can meet with me. So when's the free for all when we can schedule our own time versus whatever happens in the front half of Friday, or is Friday an entire network whenever you want?
So Friday morning is speed networking. So
And then
from
what does that
start
end?
time,
But that's sold out, right?
Yeah, so you guys, you signed up for conference, you're gonna be there. So you've
Yeah,
got
we
a
signed
spot.
up late. We were like the last ones in, I think.
So once that, do you know what, is that over at like noon or 1, 2?
I say show up anyway. I was gonna stop recording.
You didn't stop.
Yeah.